In this video, you will be shown how to create a quiz within Schoology. The first thing you will need to do is go to parkland.schoology.com, sign in using your username and password, and it will take you to your home screen. Now the next thing you'll need to do is click on the course that you would like to create your quiz in. So I'm going to click Science and Social Studies because I want to create a science quiz. Now I will select the folder where I will create my quiz, so Solar System. And then I also have two chapters within the Solar System unit, so I'm going to click the Solar System chapter because I want to create my assessment in this folder. Now what I will need to do is go to where it says Add Materials, and you can see where it says Add Test/Quiz. Now even though it says Test/Quiz, you can also create just a worksheet within this if you want it to be graded and submitted through Schoology. So just because it says Test and Quiz does not limit you just to a test or quiz. So I will click Add Test or Quiz, and I'm going to give it a name. So I'm going to give this the Solar System Test. Now, as far as the due date, if you want an assessment to appear within your grade book, when students take the assessment, you do need to give it a due date. So I'm going to give it a due date of January 15th, 2016. Matters that you give it a due date if you want the assessment to not be available up to a certain point. However, if you're not concerned about an assessment being available past the due date, you can make it even further out throughout the year. But once again, a due date has to be part of the assessment in order for it to appear within the grade book. Now the category that I would like it to appear in will be assessments for me. And then I'm going to make sure that it's visible to students if I want it visible right away. If not, I can click on that and it will be hidden. So I'm going to make this visible to students, and then I'm just going to simply click Create, and that will get me to being able to create my assessment. Now I'm going to show you how to add the different questions within this feature in Schoology. So to add a question, I'll just simply click Add Question. I'll show you how to add a true or false question. So at the top here, this will be the question. This is where you will type the question for the assessment. So I will just say true or false. So now I have typed out the statement that will appear for students to decipher whether it's true or false. Now what I can do, since this is a true answer, I'll keep the correct answer as true. If I want, let's say for example, I had an incorrect statement, I would click false. I could even require the students to correct it if it is false. However, I will just keep this true. Now for the grading feature, you can make this out of however many points you want. I always like to make it out of just 1 point because there's only one question that they need to answer. And then after I've created everything and have it the way I like it, I'll just click Create Question. And you can see that this is the first question within the quiz. Now I can see that it's worth 1 point. If I need to edit the question, I can click Edit, and that will allow me to go back and edit my question. Now, in order to add multiple choice within your assessment, you just click Multiple Choice. Now you will be taken to this screen, and this box at the top is where your question will be. So, for example, I have my question, which two planets have a diameter that are close in size? Now if I move down my page, I can see my choice 1, 2, 3, or 4. Think of this as A, B, C, or D to answer this question. So I will type in different choices that I can give to my students that will go along with this question. So I have 4 choices. I can also add some more choices or remove some if I would like. Now it is important to remember to select a correct answer. So Earth and Venus would be the correct answer, so I will click that for the correct answer. And then the grading, once again, I'm just going to make this out of 1 point. And then I will create my question. And then you can see that it will be the second question within my assessment. Now I will show you how to add an ordering question within the quiz. So this top box will be where you will put your instructions. For example, I have, please order the 8 planets in order from the sun. Start with the closest to the sun. So what I will do is start ordering these planets in order. You can see item 1, 2, 3, 4. I will need to add some blanks as well. Now I've come to item 4 and need to add some more choices, and I'm going to add 4 more choices because there will be a total of 8 planets I will list. So now that I have all of my 8 choices, what I will need to do is mix these up myself. If I were just to click save and that's it, these would be in order from 1 to 8. So I will just mix these up myself. So you can see I'll scramble these up so it will appear this way within the assessment. Now that I have them scrambled the way I would like it, I'll go down and make this however many points I would like to make it. For this video, I will just make it out of 1 point, and then I'll just click Create Question. And you can see that will be the 3rd question within my assessment. Now we want to add another question, and I will show you how to create a short answer or essay question. So you click where it says Short Answer or Essay Question. Now this type of question does need to be graded by you manually, so you cannot have automatic grading with an essay question. So at the top part of the screen, you'll just type in your essay question. And my essay question is, explain the difference between the heliocentric and geocentric models of the solar system. After you've typed that in, you have a couple different options. Within this section of printing, I always make it an essay question, which gives the students a larger amount of space to type their answer. The grading for this, I'm just going to make it out of 1 point, but you might want to make it out of 5 or whatever it may be. You can also add a rubric to this. You can create a new rubric within Schoology. I will not show you how to do that within the video, but you can add a rubric to this that will help you with your grading. Once you have all the options the way you would like it, just click Create Question. And you can see that will be question 4 within this quiz. Now we're going to take a look at how you add a fill-in-the-blank question within a quiz or a test. So click Add Question, click Fill in the Blank. Now this box will be where you will add your question. So in order to have a blank within your fill-in-the-blank question, you'll start typing in your question. So I have and in order to have a blank, you need to press Shift and then the underlined space just 1 time. And you will be able to see at the bottom here, it says Answer 1. So I have the blank planets are closer to the sun. And what I will need to do down at the bottom, I'll need to type in my answer, Enter, because the answer would be inner planets. Now, if I would like to add another answer, for example, terrestrial, I can do that. It is very important with this that you understand that if a student if the student misspells inner, it will mark it incorrect. So you might need to override some of these fill-in-the-blank answers. So I do not make it case sensitive with fill-in-the-blank answers, because if they would make a lowercase I, that would mark it incorrect as well. So the grading, once again, I'll make it at 1 point, and then I will create my question. Now the final thing we'll take a look at is how to add matching questions within Schoology. So let's click Add Question and then click Matching. And then what I like to do at the top is I just have the directions, so I'll just say match the term to the definition. And then what I will need to do, on the left-hand side, I will have, for example, heliocentric model. And then on the right-hand side, I need to give the definition, sun-centered model of the solar system. So it is important to make sure you just go through and have your term or question on the left-hand side and the answer on the right-hand side. When you put this within, or when you create this and add it to your quiz, Schoology will mix everything up so you don't have to mix things up like we did with the ordering part of the quiz. So I typed in 4 terms, and let's say I want to add some more choices. Let's say I want to just add 3 more. I can do that, and then you can see I have 3 more blanks in here. Now that I have all of my questions and answers typed in, I'll make sure to count these. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is a very important part of making matching sections within a quiz. You do want to allow for partial credit. The reason for this is that if you do not allow partial credit, if a student just misses 1, it would count all 8 incorrect. So adding partial credit will allow a student to miss 1, for example, and they would get a 7 out of 8 on that section. So since I have 8 questions, I'm going to make this out of 8 points. And then I will click Create Question. And then I can see that my question, the matching section, will be question 6 within my assessment. Now the final thing that you'll want to do after you've created everything, you will want it to preview the assessment and then click Begin Test and Quiz. Now you can see what the assessment will look like for your students. And once everything does look how you want it to look, you'll also need to check out the settings within the assessment. So the availability right now is Hide Now. If I want to make it available for my students, I can select which option I would like. So Available Now, time limit, either yes or no. The attempt limit, you can do up to 20 times. So if you want to allow for retakes, you can change that to more than 1. Randomize order will just mix the order up for the assessment. And then some question review. You'll usually want to have a question review. Resumable, that means if a student has to go or take a break and it times out or something like that, they can pick right back up. It'll save their work. And then the submissions. So is it going to be yes or yes with correct answers, which will allow the students to see the correct answers for any problem that they may have missed. So once you have all the changes you like, just click Save Changes. And that concludes the video on how to make a quiz or an assessment within Schoology.